I'm introducing her piece and giving you some background information, but I have to say that I'm so proud of Jimena and the progress that she's made and what has brought her to this evening. And we're so pleased and so proud that you're all here to support her, but also to see an example of extraordinary work ethic and talent. I've had the pleasure of working with Jimena for almost 2 years now, and I'm going to be very sad to see her go, but very excited to see her launch into her new and exciting adventures that lie ahead. I also wanted to remind everyone that Jimena's Practicum, as well as the Practicums of all of the seniors who are graduating this year, will be presented at the acting showcase, which will be the Wednesday of graduation week. So Wednesday is the acting program showcase, Thursday is the film program, and then Friday, of course, is graduation. So in case Jimena can't make it back and perform it in person, we will have it on film. So we invite everyone to come back and share not only Jimena's, but the rest of the seniors' acting projects as well. At this time, I want to remind everyone, because I rarely turn my phone off. I usually just put it on buzz, but I make sure it's off because we don't want to interrupt her performance or the performances of the actors who are joining her. So joining Jimena in her performance will be Mary Flynn. Haley Jackson. Nick Pate, and an alum come back home, Chris Bradley. So just a little bit of information if you're not familiar with A Doll's House, and if you're going to be in History of Cultures 3 next quarter, guess what? One of our plays is going to be A Doll's House. That's how influential this piece is. It was written in 1879 by Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. He is often titled as the father of modernism in playwriting and in directing. And so his works were very influential in the early days of modern theater. When I say modern, I mean 1800s going into the 1900s. A Doll's House was written and performed in the same year, and it hit not only the stage by storm, but society at large. The story is about a woman, Nora, who is in an 8-year marriage, and earlier in her marriage, her husband, Torvald, had become ill, and so they needed money for Torvald to go to Italy to recuperate from his illness. So what happens is Nora tells Torvald that she received money from her father, and that's what funded their trip, but secretly she borrowed the money from someone, and this comes back to haunt her now in the present. So what's happening is the person who gave her the money is an employee at the bank with Torvald, and Torvald wants to have him fired. So of course he's saying, if I'm fired, then I'm going to let the secret out of the bag. And now Nora is trapped in that she doesn't want her reputation, her husband's reputation, to be tarnished. So she's got to find a way to keep Krogstad, that's the person who loaned her the money, keep him happy, not have her secret come out, and in the meantime, her family friend, Dr. Rank, you'll see he's introduced in the first scene. He's a friend who comes, but he is not well, and he is dying from an illness that he is a family genetic illness. And Nora has a conversation with him, you'll see that in the first scene, where it becomes apparent that they have a friendly relationship, but Dr. Rank wants to take that relationship into another direction. But Nora she's concerned about is what can she do to save her reputation and the reputation of her husband. So she is a doll trapped in a doll's house, and so I proudly present the first scene of A Doll's House.
Come in. Good day, Dr. Rank. I knew your ring. But you mustn't go to Torvald now. I think he's busy with something.
And you?
Oh, you know very well that I have always had time for you.
Thank you. I should make use of as much of it as I can.
What do you mean? As much as you can?
Well, does that alarm you?
It was such a strange way of putting it. Is anything likely to happen?
Nothing but what I've been long prepared for. I certainly didn't expect it to happen so soon.
What do you have found out? Dr. Rank, you must tell me.
It is all up with me. Can't be helped.
Is it about yourself?
Who else? There's no use in lying to oneself. Lately, I've been taking stock of my eternal economy. Bankrupt. Probably within a month I shall lie rotting in a churchyard.
What an ugly thing to say!
The whole thing is cursedly ugly. And the worst is that I will have to face so much more than is ugly before that. I will only make one more examination of myself, and once I have done that, I will send you my card with a black cross on it, and then you will know that the loathsome end has come.
Rubbish! All of it's rubbish. Do talk about something cheerful.
Oh, it's a mere laughing matter, this whole thing. My poor innocent spine has to suffer for my father's youthful amusements.
You mean that he was like too partial to be for asparagus and pâté de foie gras on you?
Yeah, and truffles.
Truffles, yes, and oysters too, I suppose.
Oysters, of course, that goes without saying.
And heaps of foreign champagne. It's sad that all of these nice things should take their revenge in our bones.
Especially when they should revenge themselves on the unlucky bones of those who have not yet had the satisfaction of enjoying them.
That's the saddest part of all. What did you smile?
It was you that laughed.
It was you that smiled, Dr. Rank.
You're a greater rascal than I thought.
I'm in a silly mood today.
So it seems.
Dear Dr. Rank, that mustn't take you away from Torvald and me.
It's a loss you would easily recover from, and those that are gone are soon forgotten.
Do you believe that?
People form new ties, and then
Who will form new ties?
you and Helmer when I am gone. You yourself are already on the high road to it, I think. What did that Mrs. Lynn want here last night?
Don't you mean that you're jealous? Oh, poor Christine.
Yeah, I am. She'll be my successor in this house when I am gone. When I am done for, that woman...
Shh! Don't speak so loud. She's in that room.
Today? Again? There! See?
Oh, bless my soul. How unreasonable you are. She has only come to sew my dress. But be nice now, Dr. Rank, and tomorrow you will see how beautifully I shall dance. And you can imagine that I'm doing it all for you. And for Torvald too, of course. But sit down here, Dr. Rank, and I will show you something. you must only look at the feet. Oh well, you may have looked at the legs too. Why are you looking so critical? Don't you think that fit me?
I have no means of forming an opinion about that.
For shame! That's to punish you!
What other nice things may I be allowed to see?
Not a single thing more for being so naughty.
When I'm sitting here, talking to you as intimately as this, I begin to wonder, what would have become of me if I had never come into this house?
I believe that you feel truly at home with us.
To be obliged to leave it all,
Nonsense! You're not gonna leave it!
and not leave behind the slightest token of one's gratitude. Scarcely even a fleeting regret. Nothing but an empty place whom the first comer can fill as well as any other.
And if I ask you for I don't know,
For what?
a big proof of your friendship?
Yes. Yes!
I mean, a tremendously big favor.
Would you really make me so happy for once?
But you don't know what is it yet.
No! But tell me.
Oh, I really can't, Dr. Rain. It's something outside of reason, and it needs help, advice, and a favor.
The bigger a thing it is, the better. I'm not quite certain what it is you mean, but do tell me. Haven't I your confidence?
More than anyone else. You are my truest and best friend. So I will tell you. Well, Dr. Ink, it's something that you must help me to prevent. You know very well how devoutly and immensely deeply Thorvald loves me, and how he wouldn't hesitate for a moment to give his life for me.
Nora, do you think he's the only one?
The only one?
The only one who would gladly give his life for your sake.
Is that it?
I was determined before I went away, and I'll never get a better opportunity than this. Now you know, and now you know too that you can trust me as you would no one else.
Let me pass.
Nora!
Dear Dr. Ink, that was really horrid of you.
To have loved you as much as anyone else? Was that horrid?
No, but to go ahead and tell me so. There was really no need.
What do you mean? Did you know? Nora! Mrs. Helmer, had you any idea of this?
Oh, how should I know what I hadn't? I really can't tell you. To think that you can be so clumsy, Dr. Ink, and we were getting on so nicely.
Well, at all events, you know. You can trust me as you would no one else.
I can tell you anything after what happened.
Please, I beg you, please let me know what it is.
I can tell you anything now.
Yes, you mustn't punish me in this way. Please, let me do for you whatever a man may do.
You can do nothing for me now. And besides, I really do not need your help at all. You later will find that the whole thing was fancy on my part. It really is. It was. Dr. Ring, you are a nice sort of man. Don't you feel ashamed of yourself?
Not a bit. Perhaps I'd better go.
No, you shall not. Of course, you must come here as before. You know very well that Torvald can do without you.
Yes, but you.
I'm always tremendously pleased when you come.
That's just it. That which is putting me on the wrong track. You're a riddle to me. I've often thought that you would almost soon be in my company as in Helmer's.
Oh, yes, but you see, there's some people that one loves best, and others that one must rather have as companions.
Yeah, there's something in that.
You see, when I was at home, of course I loved Papa best, but I always felt tremendously fun if I could steal them into the maid's room, because they never more or less anything at all, and they talk to each other about such interesting
So it is their place I have taken.
No, I never meant that at all. But surely you can understand that being with Torvald, it's a little like being with Papa. If you please, ma'am. Yeah.
Is anything wrong?
No, not at all. It is something. It is my new dress.
What? Your dress lying here?
Oh, yes, that one. It's another one. I ordered it. Torvald mustn't know about it.
So that is the great secret.
Of course. Just go to him. He's in the inner room. Please keep him as long as.
Make your mind easy. I won't let him escape.
So we've been introduced to two of the main characters in Ibsen's play, Nora and Dr. Ren. The note that Nora has just received is the note that makes her heart drop. It's the one where she's being threatened that if she can't find a way to convince her husband to not only keep Krogstad at the bank, but to promote him to a higher position, that he's going to let the secret out. Write a letter to Torvald and expose Nora and the forgery that she did those many years ago in order to get the money for their trip. Nora has been paying the money back slowly but surely, but because Krogstad is on the verge of being fired, he has to raise the stakes. So in our next scene, we meet Mrs. Lynn, who is a school friend of Nora's, and she has been helping Nora with getting a dress ready for a big costume party that's going to be happening, but she is also serving as Nora's confidant. Little do we know, the plot sickens, that Mrs. Lynn had previously had a relationship with Krogstad. So when she offers to help, Mrs. Lynn says that she's going to go talk to Krogstad on Nora's behalf to try and get him to take the letter back. But we don't see the scene where Mrs. Lynn basically leaves Nora hanging and kind of throws her under the bus. But we'll say that for the last scene. So in the next scene, Mrs. Lynn being played by Mary Flynn, and of course Nora being played by Jimena Banos.
Don't go! He's going. He's not putting the letter in the box. Oh no, that's impossible. What is that? He's standing outside. He's not going downstairs. In the letterbox. There it lies. Oh, Torvald. There's no hope for us now.
There! I can't see anything else more to mend. Would you like to try it on?
Christine, come here.
What's the matter with you? You look so agitated.
Come here. Do you see that letter? Look, you can see it through the glass in the letterbox.
Yes, I see it.
That's the letter from Krogstad.
Nora! It was Krogstad who lent you the money.
Yes, and now Torvald will know all about it.
Oh, believe me, Nora, that's the best thing for both of you.
No, you don't know at all. I forged a name.
Good heavens!
I only want to say this to you, Christine. You must be my witness.
Your witness? What do you mean? What am I supposed
If
to
I should go out of my mind and it might easily happen,
Nora!
or if anything else no one else knows anything about it, and I alone did the whole thing. Remember.
I will. Indeed. But I don't understand all this.
How can you understand? A wonderful thing is going to happen.
A wonderful thing?
Yes, a wonderful thing. But it's so terrible, Christine. It mustn't happen, not for the whole world.
I'll go at once and see Krogstad.
No, don't go to him. He will do you some harm.
Oh, there was a time when he would gladly do anything for my sake. Where does he live?
Oh, how should I know? Oh, wait. Yes. Here is his card. But the letter.
Nora,
What's that? What do you want?
don't be so afraid. We're not coming in. You have locked the door. Are you trying on your dress?
Yes, Torvald, it looks so nice. I see he lives at the corner here. Yes, but that's no use. The letter's lying there.
And your husband keeps the
Always.
key?
Yes, always.
Krogstad must ask for the letter back unread. He must find some pretense.
Yes, do this. But it's at this time that Torvald generally...
You must delay him. I'll go speak to Krogstad and I'll come back as soon as I can.
Torvald!
Story of our life.
So here we come to the last scene. And interestingly enough, a play that was written in 1879 still stands strong in the year 2019. And that is testament to a talented playwright, a solid story, and characters that resonate not only in that time, but in our time. A woman trying to hold on to her dignity, feeling that she's in a trapped marriage, left without options. What's a girl to do? In this very last scene, you will meet for the first time Torvald, who is Nora's husband of 8 years. And it's time to pay the fiddler. And the letter is exposed, so everyone knows what's going on. All the cards are on the table. Torvald knows that that Nora forged the letter so many years ago, and that the money was obtained through a loan and not a gift from her father. When he finds that out, he becomes very angry with Nora and says some really unkind things to her, and something snaps in her, and she decides that maybe not living in a doll's house in a seemingly perfect existence with her children and her husband, safe and secure, maybe that's not the life she's supposed to lead. And we see that unfold in this very last scene, which is also the last scene of the play in Henrik Ibsen's A Doll's House.
Yourself. Make your mind easy again. My dear Nora, get rest and feel secure, for I have broad wings to shelter you under. Here I have broad wings to shelter you under. How warm and cozy our home is, Nora. Here I will protect you, like a hunted dove from the hawk's claws. Only be plain and open with me, Nora, and I shall serve as will and conscience both to you. not changed your things?
Yes, Torvald, I changed my things.
But what for so late as this?
It is not so very late. Sit down here, Torvald. You and I have a lot to say to one another.
Well, what is this, Nora, this cold set face?
Sit down. It would take some time. I have a lot to talk over with you.
You alarm me, Nora. I don't understand you.
Sit down. No. That is just it. You don't understand me, and I have never understood you either before tonight. No, you mustn't interrupt me. You must simply listen for what I have to say to you. Torvald, this is a settling of accounts.
What do you mean by that?
Isn't there one thing that strikes you as strange in us sitting here like this?
What would that be?
We have been married for 8 years. Doesn't occur to you that this is the first time that you and I, husband and wife, have a serious conversation?
Does it make sense that I would be forever and continually boring you with things that you could not help me to bear?
I'm not speaking about business matters. I say that we have never sat down in earnest together to try to get to the bottom of
But my
anything.
dearest Nora, would it have been any good to you?
That is just it. You don't understand me, and I have been greatly wronged, Torvald. First by Papa and then by you.
By us two. By us two who have loved you better than anyone else in the world?
You have never loved me. You have only thought pleasant to be in love with me.
What is it that I hear you saying?
It is perfectly true, Torvald. For when I was with Papa, he told me his opinions about everything, so I have the same opinions. And if I differ from him, I conceal the fact because he would not have liked it. He called me his doll child, and he used to play with me like I used to play with my doll. And then when I came here to live with you,
Okay, what sort of an expression is that to use about our marriage?
I simply mean that I was only transferred from Papa's hands into yours. You arrange everything according to your own taste. So I got the same taste as you, or else I pretended to. I'm not quite sure. I think sometimes one and sometimes was the other, but when I look back at it, it seems to me that I have been living here like a poor woman, just from hand to mouth. I have merely existed to perform tricks to you, Torvald, because you would have it so. You and Papa have committed a great sin against me, and it is your fault that I did nothing of my
How
life.
unreasonable and how ungrateful of you, Nora. Have you not been happy here?
No, I never been. I thought I was, but I never been so.
Okay, not happy.
No, only married. And you have always been so kind to me, Torvald, but our life has been nothing but a playroom. I have been your doll wife. Just when I was with Papa was his doll child, and here the children have been my dolls. I thought great fun when you played with me, I thought they had great fun when I played with them, and that is what a marriage has been.
I see. There is some truth in what you say, yes. Exaggerated and strained of your view of it is, but for the future it shall be different. For the future playtime shall be over, lesson time shall begin.
Whose lessons? Mine or the children?
Both yours and the children, Nora.
At last, Torvald, you are not the man into being a proper wife.
And you can say that.
And how am I fitted to bring it out to the children?
Nora!
Didn't you say a little while ago that you do not dare not to trust me to
In a
bring
moment
them
of
out?
anger, why do you pay any heed to that?
Indeed, you were perfectly right. I'm not fitted for the task. There is a task that I must undertake first. I must try to educate myself, and you are not the man to help me with that. I must do that for myself, and that is why I'm going to leave you now.
What is it that I just heard you say?
I must take quite long if I am to understand myself and everything about it.
Nora, I won't let you leave this house. I forbid it.
There's no use forbidding me anything any longer. I will take nothing either from you now or later.
Please. Nora, you blind, foolish woman.
I must try to get some sense, Torvald.
But to desert your home, your children, your husband. And you don't think what the people will say.
I cannot What do you consider my most...
Do I need to tell you that? Are they not your duties to your husband and your children?
I don't believe that at all. I believe that before all else, I am a reasonable human being, just as you are. Amongst all of it, I must try to become one. But I know there must be people who think you're right. And the views of that kind are to be found in books. But I can no longer content myself with what people say and what is found in books. I must try to think things over for myself and try again to understand them.
Can you not understand them here in your own house? Have you not a reliable guide in such matters? Have you no religion?
I'm afraid, Torvald, that I do not know exactly what religion is.
You'd have to explain yourself better.
I know nothing what the clergyman said when I went to be confirmed. He told us that religion was this, that, and the other, but when I'm away from all of this and I'm alone, I will look at this matter too. I will see what the clergyman said is true at all events if it's true for me.
This is unheard of in a girl your age, but if religion cannot set you straight, perhaps I can awaken your conscience. Or am I to think that you have none?
I assure you, Torvald, that is not an easy question to answer. That thing perplexes me altogether. I only know that you and I look in a quite different light now. And I'm